Yo, what's going on, everybody? I am MindFit. Welcome to my YouTube channel, the channel where we help men and women alike become the best versions of themselves, uh, getting rid of limiting beliefs, and ultimately becoming the people we all have up here but haven't quite figured out how to get there, right? Um, so, with this channel, we're going to be doing a lot of self development and a lot of self healing, as well as conquer limiting beliefs and getting to a place where we can um, be fulfilled in our lives. So today we actually have a video of a guy who got stood up for a date. Right now, to the guys out there, we've all been there. We all know how it feels, and it's not a good. It's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling. Um, we've all had that moment where we've started to question our value and our worth, and it can take you to some interesting places. But hopefully, we can come out on the other side and you know conquer our fears and really become the people that we all dream of being. And so, we're gonna take a look at this video and hopefully we can help this guy out. All right. Now, this guy, I believe, is a comedian. I've taken a look at some of his other content just to make sure that this wasn't a joke. But nonetheless, it's good information. So let's get into it. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and we're off.
So I just left the restaurant after waiting 30 minutes for a date to show up, and apparently I got stood up. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm trying to do everything right to be a gentleman. I brought flowers. I've been consistent talking with this girl for 2 weeks, trying to get to know what she likes, what she doesn't like. I made plans. I picked the restaurant, the day, and the time. I've done everything to be just the kind of guy that would value somebody's time. Like, I'm just looking for my person. I'm just looking for the one that I guess is out there for me. I mean, I want to be somebody's husband someday, father. I'm trying to do everything that's right. I just get stood up. Like my feelings didn't even matter. Sitting there eating a meal by myself and realizing that nobody even cares about people anymore. Like alien dating shouldn't even be this hard. It shouldn't be this hard to find somebody. It shouldn't be this difficult to fall in love. To kind one another. Like what, ladies? Tell me, what did I do wrong?
Wow. So again, to the guys out there, we've all been there, right? Not a good feeling. Well, so this guy, if I told you all men start out this, well, I can't say all men. The majority of men start out just like this. I was no different. I'm sure many of you are no different. Um, to be in my own personal experiences, this is pretty mild. I've had far worse, but yeah, man, you are correct. It should not be this hard. Unfortunately, you are in a day and age where things, unfortunately, are not stacked in your favor. Okay, um, there's a lot of inner work that we're going to have to do to get you to a place where you're a little bit more respected. All right, and respect goes a long way um, amongst males and females. And I think there are some things that we may have missed over the course of your life. Okay. That's not a dig. I'm not going to be like the rest of these YouTube channels who are just going to poke fun and give you just horrible general information. Okay, I'm not that person. I look at you as somebody who one has a value system that's not serving you anymore. 2, you need an education. And 3, you need confidence. All right. How do we get those things? Well, the first thing, I hate to say this, but the first thing we're going to have to do is to never do this again. Okay. This is it's a cry for help. First and foremost, it's a cry for help. The second thing is, unfortunately, when you wear your heart on your shoulders, people have a tendency to, take advantage of you. Okay. I don't know you personally, but you seem like you are a really genuine person. I took a look at some of your other videos, and I can tell you weaponize your insecurities. All right, you're using that as a defense mechanism so that nobody can beat you to the punch, or so they can't beat you to the punch. Meaning, I'm going to wear my scars outwardly and acknowledge them so that nobody else can weaponize that against me, which is actually a really smart idea. But again, going back to your belief system, a lot of the jokes are self-deprecating, and we have to stop that because that is a clear indication of how you feel about yourself. The first thing is we have to diagnose this as what it is. You are what's called a nice guy. What do I mean by that? You're not just a person who's nice. You're somebody who has, I don't know you again, but if I had to guess, you have a severe anxious attachments. You are somebody who has trouble enforcing boundaries and not very assertive in who you are. And unfortunately, women can see right through that. And outside of women, it's a very difficult thing to change. Okay, I had a lot of trouble doing that too. And it took years. Matter of fact, I still sometimes I have relapses. The nice guy is not something that you can ultimately cure, but it is something you have to be aware of. Okay, there are things you can do. There's things you can practice to help you overcome your belief system because for whatever reason you have trouble voicing your desire for your needs to get met, and so therefore you use covert languages to get people to fulfill a need that is not being fulfilled for you. But the first thing I would recommend is psychological help. All right, not necessarily a counselor or a therapist, not even a psychiatrist. I mean, that might be necessary too, but you need to see a psychologist. A lot of this stuff comes from your childhood. Okay. Somewhere, I don't know what your home life was like or how you were raised. If I had to guess, you were probably raised by your mother, which isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. That's how I was raised too. I was raised predominantly by my mother. And I inherited a lot of her passiveness. Okay. So that strong male figure, again, I could be totally wrong, but it doesn't seem like there was a strong male figure. And even if there was, society, just your life experiences can also condition you to be more passive because unfortunately there is a lot of hatred towards men these days. And that's something else. I'll make a separate video on that too. But ultimately, you definitely need to see a psychologist. You definitely need to figure out your traumas and triggers and figure out where they stem from and be aware of when you are not enforcing your boundaries. And that's something that's going to take years to do. Okay. The second thing I would recommend for building confidence and destroying limiting beliefs, all right, is you need you need a coaching program, and you also need a fitness program. Starting with the fitness, definitely, we definitely need more confidence. We definitely need to get you in a gym, and even if you don't go to the gym right away, but we need to get you outside. We need to get you moving and running and slowly developing confidence. This is going to be a slow burn, right? This is not going to be something that you're going to be able to fix overnight. It took me years. Okay. I was just like you. I was very heavy. I was very in my head. I had trouble enforcing boundaries and I felt guilty for saying no. So, starting out, getting a good gym regimen, a good exercise regimen, and some coaching from a life coach, such as myself, as well as a counselor, not a counselor, but a psychologist, would serve you a lot, bro. And you also need to really start an education. And I don't mean like going to college. I mean like you need to understand you, and that's really what it is. Is you don't really understand you yet. You don't really know who you are. Because if you did, you would carry yourself with a lot more dignity. You'd have more respect for yourself. And that is something people can sense. It's like a pheromone that you just have a tendency to just produce and exude. People understand when they say 90% of communication is nonverbal. You communicate with your body. You communicate just with your aura and your presence. And that is something that's just going to take a lot of time to build. And, I take my hat off to you for being so vulnerable and really, asking for help. This is what this is. This is a cry for help. And I have read so many comments online they're absolutely not helpful. People just have a tendency to make stupid comments that are just absolutely useless, mean, demeaning in order to make their lives better. But that's beside the point. So those are my tips for you. Definitely start seeking psychological help in education, self-development. Start practicing the things you say to yourself. That's very important. Okay. The wee hours of the morning, when you first open your eyes in the morning, you have to decide every day who you want to be. Okay. You cannot let your intrusive thoughts take over because you will always be enslaved to them. And definitely get yourself in the gym, start lifting some weights. Again, I am also a fitness coach as well. If you reach out to me, I can definitely get you on a program. But definitely start moving, man. Get yourself in a better shape, and that'll cure about 60% of the things that are going on, man. Like, I'm not even joking. It's not going to cure all of it. It's not going to help you heal, but it will start you down the path of where you want to go. It'll start you down the path of discovering who you are. And that is the question we all struggle with. And again, it's not going to help you heal, but it will definitely start to answer some of those questions you have at the back of your mind. You won't be seeking validation like this. So, exercise program and life coaching, definitely start seeing a psychologist or someone who can answer some of those questions that you have going on. And help you understand you a little bit more. So those are my suggestions. I sincerely wish you well on your journey. And if you ever, feel as though you want to, need coaching, I'm here for you. There's so much out there for you. I myself have a life coach, and she's amazing. And they really are in your corner. So be easy, man. And best of luck to you.